What are you doing?
Hello and welcome to episode we think is 33 of the Late Night Gaming Show. We can't remember if it was 34 or 33. Jodie thinks it's 33, so I'm going with that. We hope we find you well and you're happy to join us here. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so please excuse me if I go... I'm not feeling great today, Jodie. But that's okay, because the show...
I was going to say something, but...
The literal show must go on.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Jodie?
I'm good. I'm good.
You happy to be here?
Yeah. I am.
Yeah, I make her life difficult when she's setting things up.
He does.
Enjoy the show, guys. So we're going to move on to our first section, which is what have we been playing this week?
What you been playing this week?
So I don't even know what to say now. So many things are happening. This is what have we been playing this week. So Jodie,
Timmy,
do you need a moment? Do you want me to talk about what I've been playing so you can just bring yourself back, recuperate? All right. So this week has been a time of playing stuff I don't want to play, but I played it anyway. So obviously, this season 5 of Fortnite. It was season 5, wasn't
just finished.
It was finishing off, so I had to finish off a couple of challenges that I couldn't bother doing, and it became a bit of a. It felt like work. That's all I can say. Why I was doing it, I have no idea. So last night particularly, I was trying to finish off the last few. You joined me. You were playing.
I jumped in.
She had made my life really difficult. So the last challenge I needed to do was just do damage with explosive weapons.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't find explosive weapons anywhere, and it was doing my head, and it was taking forever. I open a chest, I find some grenades, I'm overjoyed, Jodie comes up, and then just throws a pocket rift, I think it's called, pocket rift, and throws me up into the sky. Thanks, Jodie. You're supposed to be there to make my life easier, not more difficult.
I just thought it'd be funny, to be honest, more than out.
So other than that, I've basically been playing, my mind's just gone off because I just realised one of the lights is turned off.
Yeah, we'll start that in the next episode.
Other than that, I've been playing a ton of Rocket League. So because I've come away from Fortnite, I've now been working on the Rocket Pass on Rocket League. I don't like that these things are drawing me in and making me... But I've been loving Rocket League though. And obviously we put up a video yesterday of me beating somebody who called themselves the Antichrist. So I just had to... That was a moment to be proud of. We beat the Antichrist, Jodie.
I was very proud of you as I watched it. I was like,
so Jodie.
Yes.
You own Rocket League now.
I do.
Talk us through that. How's it been going? Are you enjoying it?
It's okay. They just look like little Matchbox
that's
cars.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not the worst game in the world. I mean, I did say rubbish a couple of weeks ago, and I still stand by that to a point. But I got the battle pass as well, so I think that's what enticed me to actually try and play it a bit more.
Nice. Okay.
So I've been playing with the Maverick car.
Okay.
And we did well. I played about 5 games so far.
Okay.
And on each of them games, I scored at least 1 goal.
Okay.
So I've been very
playing that
proud of
offline or online?
Online.
Have you really?
Yeah, with people online. No training. Just gone straight in there.
Wow, there you go. I think we need to do a video of us both. Maybe us doing a one-on-one game.
Yeah, we'll see. You'll probably trash me, but we'll see. We'll see. Better than some of the Muppets I've played.
Cool. It was my proudest moment when you told me.
Yeah.
Especially after you made the hurtful comment on one of the Trashy Tuesdays where she said, maybe next week's Trashy Tuesdays we could play Rocket League.
It's very true.
I walked out the room. We didn't speak for about a week, I think, at that point.
It's true.
So, okay. What else have you been playing?
Fortnite, of course, last night.
Yeah.
And then we have been playing a bit of Mario Kart because the kids wanted to play Mario Kart.
So I went on your profile the other day and I noticed that you played 75 hours on Mario Kart.
That's
quite impressive considering you've not had it for that long.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all thanks to the young people at the youth group and the kids that we went away with in the summer. They literally just played it all the way through. So yeah, we played that. And then I did a little bit of Spider-Man, but because I finished it, I'm kind of just going now. I'm doing the little bits that need to be finished. And then I've got to start on a different different level to try and get.
I really want to get back into
platinum.
that game, but there's just too much
just
coming out and
boss.
stuff at the time. I just can't. I can't deal with it all, Jodie. It's too much.
Nah, it's boss. And then I got the kids into Astro Bears as well. We played Astro Bears. And
That
they love
game
it.
just will not go
No,
away.
and it's a new cooking craze. That's what it is. And I'm not lying. They loved it. It was boss.
God.
So that's going to be the new thing for the next couple of weeks.
Very nice.
But
Very nice. Well, that's been what we've been playing this week. We're now going to move on to the news.
It's time for some news, yeah. It's time for some news.
Welcome back. I tried to solve the light problem. For some reason, one of the lights just isn't having it. So we're just going to have to deal with this little thing here is just there. There's always something, isn't there? All right, so we are going to be going into the news. So we're going to be going through all the latest video games news and going through it, seeing what's what. Mm-hmm. So we have got 7 items on the list today. That is a lot.
That is a lot for the news.
So the biggest news story, and this is going to go into our topic of the week. So I'm not going to go into it too much. But basically, the biggest story this week is that Telltale Games, which are just like... At this point, you just think they're just literally printing money. Because like they're the ones they've done like... they did the Walking Dead series, the 5-episode sort of thing.
Yeah.
They've done Batman. They've done a ton, and I've really enjoyed some of them. But just out of nowhere, they've literally laid off something like 250 members of staff, and there's 25 left. And that 25 is literally just finishing up. They're literally just finishing up a project that they were doing with Netflix on Minecraft Story Mode, and then they're literally not going to exist anymore. And just like it's just crazy. It's just I mean, a lot of people think there's something else going on behind the scenes there. Somebody probably made a big boo boo, but it's really sad because they really made story driven games. Like they did something quite unique with it and brought that kind of game to the forefront. It's just really sad that it's over. Now the big question, which is our second news story, is that. Obviously, a lot of people then they had questions because the last season of The Walking Dead that they were making, they were just about to release episode 2 of 4 episodes, and they were just like, as of right now, that game is basically cancelled. Now, the problem with that is that because it's episodic, so they bring out an episode like every 2 months or every month, people are paid for essentially a season pass of that, so you pay for the whole thing. And it's kind of like, what's going to happen with those people who've paid for that, but they're not going to get the last 2 episodes? And bear in mind, like, obviously people have played through the whole of the first game, all your decisions and stuff have carried through to the second game. People are really invested. It's like, it's the final season, finishing off all this whole storyline going on. And then it's just not going to get finished. It's just...
sad.
So, a bit later on then, basically what happened was they made a statement. They were like, there's a few interested parties in finishing off the game and we're in talks with them. So I really hope they get that sorted. But it's just really sad. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's happened. Minecraft Story Mode was made by them. Jodie, I'm surprised you haven't got on that. You love Minecraft.
Yeah, I've not been on Minecraft
One
for a
day.
while.
The thing that makes me sad as well is they started bringing, because obviously I have an obsession that borderlines on me being put away for insane reasons with the Nintendo Switch. They started bringing all the games over to the Switch. You have got to be kidding me. We currently have no lights, people. So there's something wrong with our power. What we're gonna do, right? We're struggling here. We're just gonna continue on. Please just accept that all this is happening.
Yeah. Please.
I'm gonna carry on talking while Jodie pulls up the blind to give us a little bit more light. Usually we try to hide natural light, but not today. We're going to need every bit.
We need it today.
That the good Lord made us in the beginning. And she pulls it the wrong way.
Sorry.
This has been a disaster today, but it's okay because we're here for the fun. Jodie, that is doing practically nothing, so we'll just go. Oh, okay.
Let's just go. Let's carry on, people. We might get this right one day. You should have seen us when we used to film it before we went live, so this is a lot better than it used to be.
I disagree. I feel like this has gone a lot worse. We're still having those teething issues with live streaming, but I feel like those batteries are just kaboomed on those lights.
Yes.
We're having just talks about how sad we are right now, but that's okay. So we're just going to carry on, just accept that this is happening. There's fuzzy bits everywhere. All right, so we were talking about... Yes, so the problem, the thing that I'm sad about is they started bringing all of these games over to the Nintendo Switch, and they managed to get... They got The Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 3. I don't know why they didn't put Season 2 on there. They put... Oh, there was 2 more. Oh, they put the Batman one on.
I didn't play Batman.
Neither did I. And then I can't remember what the third one was. But I really wanted The Wolf Among Us. That was... I've never finished it, but I absolutely loved it. And I was really looking forward to some of the other ones I can't remember right now. My mind's just going blank because all I can think about is those stupid
It's okay.
lights.
Don't worry about the stupid
anyway,
lights.
I was really excited to have all those games on the Switch, and it's just sad that basically I'm assuming we're never going to get the rest of them on there now because I'm like... It's just going to be really weird because I'm like... What's going to happen to all the games that are already on the stores and stuff? I don't know what's going to happen, but it's just very sad and weird, and I hope somebody just somehow ports all those games to the Switch and then it will be okay. So obviously the big issue that really came out of this, more than the games that we might not get to play, is the fact that all the employees just got laid off and they weren't given anything. They weren't given notice. They weren't given so imagine you just came into work and then they just went, by the way, all of you are fired and we're not going to give you any sort of pay till the end of the month. We're not going to give you anything like that. So you just out of job.
That's ridiculous.
Like that many people. So it angered a lot of people and it angered them. And we're going to talk about that a bit more in Topic of the Week. But that's pretty much what's happening there. So it's getting a bit crazy. So something obviously seriously went wrong here. Because these guys as well, they made a Game of Thrones game. They got that kind of a license. It just doesn't make sense why they've lost so much money. So it's kind of crazy. So anyway, that is Telltale, the fall of Telltale. Very sad. Number 4 is that I hate that I have to put this in the news, and every week somehow something sneaks in about it.
Oh yeah.
But Fortnite Season 6 has started.
Whoop.
And I couldn't be any less enthused. I am
actually
burnt out
not
on that
enthused
game.
after what just happened.
What just happened?
When I was sorting out my pass.
Oh, I thought... Do you want to talk us through it, Jodie?
So what happened was I worked for most of the... Well, I didn't hardly went on it. But I got up to 700 V-Bucks. Not realising you needed 950 to get your pass. So I was like, okay, I'll go and I'll pay for it. So I went, not thinking, because I thought I saw the 2,000. And I was like, oh, well, I might as well go for that. I thought it was 2,000 for the unlocking of so much.
When you get... So you wanted to buy the pass with the 25 tiers extra, right?
Yeah. And I thought it was 2,000. Not 2,800, 2,000, because I didn't see the 8, you see. So I went and bought the first one that was 1,000
V-Bucks,
yeah. And then I realised what happened. So I went and thought, oh, I need to go and get another one because now I've decided to do this. So then I paid the same tier of V-Bucks for 1,000. So we're already on £16 odd. And then I was like, what? So at this point, I've got 2,700 V-Bucks. So I had to go and pay again for the single tier to get another one. So I'm not happy at the moment with Fortnite.
So essentially, she's paid £4 more than what she needed to.
This always happens to me.
It does seem to be your talent. So there you go. But I just couldn't believe what had just happened. But there you go. These things happen. So yeah, Fortnite Season 6 has started. It seems to be Halloween themed, which is kind of to be expected, but it's obviously just disappointing because we don't really agree with
We'll get a
Well, we just
Christmas
don't
one.
straight up.
Hopefully we'll get
That's
a
what I'm
Christmas one.
hoping.
That's what I'm hoping.
I'm hoping that would be kind of cool.
I want the trees to turn into Christmas trees and to be lights around like tilty towers and stuff. That'd be boss.
That would be kind of cool. I could see him just making everything snowy.
Yeah.
Easy, innit? And then, wait, they could make one of the sections Santa's grotto. And stuff. Oh
That'd be
my
boss.
gosh. It could be crazy.
They could use the tomato
Temple.
Tomato temple is.
I hate that I
Santa's
know
grotto.
these things now. I used to
That'd
listen
be
to people
sick.
going like, "Oh, we've got to land in this place or this," and I'll just be like, "You little boring scumbags! Like, who cares?" And now
It's converted.
this season I got into it a lot. I still think this season was disappointing. I think
was.
like nothing happened.
With that cube,
Well, nothing happened for ages, and then the riffs just disappeared. I thought they were going to keep continuously like add stuff, and it didn't really, and it was just annoying. It upset me deeply.
When they brought the teas out, it seemed like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But then now that you look at it, you go, oh, I see why the teasers were like that, because of it coming to Halloween and they were making like the evil side of stuff. So
I don't have a clue what's going on. I don't care what's going on.
I only know because of Allier. That's the only reason I know.
I just don't care anymore. I'll play it every now and then, but I'm kind of... I just got burnt out on it big time. Got too bad. So moving on, number 5, which is a huge story, is that Sony is finally allowing crossplay across all platforms.
About time.
They even specified each individual one, which I thought was a little bit unnecessary. But just to make this clear, it's not like they just flipped the switch and now every game is crossplay. This is only Fortnite, and I don't even know why, but it's in beta. I don't think it needs... Why is it in beta? I think it was a year ago, Fortnite accidentally actually turned on crossplay with PlayStation, which was a big boo-boo, but it just worked. Like, we don't need to be in a beta. Like, Sony is just so weird with this, and it's just like, accept that this is what's happening. It's just bizarre. But just to make it clear, this isn't like, oh, well, now, like, Rocket League is going to be compatible with all this. It's not. And hopefully it will... Everything will just happen. But the thing I'm excited for is things like Fallout 76 being able to crossplay with Xbox and things like that. That would be just really cool. So I hope that happens. Yeah, me too. Can't wait to get
I haven't
big
played
helmet.
anything like that before, so it'd be cool.
Oh, so are you saying right now that you're going to buy that game day one?
Not
and we're going to play it?
I think
Jodie, we made this pact already. It was going to be boss. It was going to be boss. I can't go into an open world with a load of random people trying to build my little place when the point was, Jodie, that we as friends were going to do that.
Is Mike on board with this?
Well, we kind of said that he was, but you know what he's like. He's just going to bail on us, isn't he? I mean, to be fair, he never actually said he was. I just said, "Oh, Mike's gonna do it," while he was sat there.
Didn't you say that?
He
about
didn't
me
say
as well?
no. He didn't say no. No, I'm pretty sure you were on
Was I
board.
in for it?
When you saw it, you were like, "Oh yeah, well, buy that day one." And then Mike was like, Mike just kept quiet and went, "Mike's gonna buy it day one too," and he just didn't say anything. So I'm trying to peer pressure him into it. You see, his brother Andy would love it, so we need to peer pressure both of them.
It's true.
And then we need to apparently have to peer pressure you now, Jodie.
I don't know. I think I'd be easy to crack because I'm just like, I'm in for it, but I don't know about day one.
Well, we can play the beta.
Okay.
Because I have multiple beta codes, so we can...
Alright.
We can make something happen there, Jodie.
Okay.
We can make something happen. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. I think it's just really cool for the future that everybody could just be playing together in all these different online games, and you don't have to worry about which console are on and stuff. It's one of these things that's just like, because of competition and stuff, it's just there, but it's just doesn't make sense really, and it's just unnecessary. Whereas we can all play together. It means that games that don't have tons of people playing it, so like Rocket League on the Switch, for example, if I only play with people on the Switch, it can be quite hard to find specific types of games. So if, like I like playing two versus two mostly, and sometimes it can take like 2 or 3 minutes to find somebody because there's just not a lot of people playing it. But then I can just flick it onto crossplay, and suddenly I have access to thousands upon thousands of other players on not PlayStation 4 yet, but at like an Xbox and PC.
Yeah.
So there's more chance I'll find a game, which is good, and it makes games last longer, which is what we all want, isn't it?
It's what everyone wants.
So there you go. Watch that space. Kind of exciting. Next is Red Dead Redemption 2. The size of the game was announced recently, and it takes up 105 gigabytes of hard drive space. So if you have a 500 gigabyte PS4, that's taking up a fifth.
No, not buying that
more
game,
than a
then.
fifth of the. Why?
Because I've only got a 500 gigabyte PlayStation.
I'm saying it as if. But the thing that it tells me though is that this is going to be sick. This is going to be sick. Like this for it to take up that much. Just to put it in perspective, I think like Uncharted 4 would have been something like 50 gigabytes. This is double the size of that. I think it's going to be pretty sick. Like there's a reason it takes up that much space. A possible thing of that is that it could be that includes like 4K stuff, because 4K take like a lot of Xbox One X games, for example, that uses 4K. The patches takes it up to like 100 gigabytes sometimes. But I think this game is going to be pretty unbelievable. So I'm excited. It excited me that the gigabyte number was higher, because it means that there's more stuff there.
Just means I'll have to buy a terabyte PlayStation. I don't
You could
want
just
that.
buy an external hard drive.
That's true. That's true. See,
be a lot
I don't
cheaper.
think about these things. This is why I confirm with you before I do anything.
There you go. And then our final news story. So I asked you about this before. You said you hadn't seen it.
No.
So basically, Pokemon Go,
Yeah.
the mobile version. We're not talking about the Switch version now. This random Pokemon just seemed to appear while the community day was going on in somewhere in Asia. Just popped up, and it was nobody knew what it was at first, and it kind of looks like a. It looks like a nut, like a screw nut.
Oh,
I'm
like
talking about,
yeah, not like a peanut.
Not a peanut.
Like a screw, like.
Yeah, when you put
screw.
the knot on the end of it.
Okay.
It looks like that. That's the head with a little eye in the middle, and then it's got like a little body. It looks better than I'm describing it.
Okay.
But basically, this just started appearing everywhere, and every time you tried to catch it, it turned into a Ditto. And I was like, what's going on? And eventually it spread all over the world, and you could literally see it, but you can't catch that Pokemon because it's a Ditto. Does that make sense?
But that would wind me up.
Well, it's not on. It won't be in the Pokédex or anything because no one knows what it is. This is the thing, so it's all a mystery, and it's like, what's going on? So then we get a trailer. So you can go on your Switch right now, go into your news feed, and there is a trailer for Pokemon Let's Go.
Yeah.
And basically, it's got the professor that's in Pokemon Go on the phone. You know, the one that you do the tasks for. And he's talking to Professor Oak. It's actually quite funny if you ever watch it. But basically, they're talking about this and how they've found this Pokemon. And it's called Meltan. Meltan. And basically, he's talking about the I don't know what his name is. The professor out of the Pokemon Go on the phone. He's basically talking about it, saying like, it's all these Ditto, but it must have copied something. So basically, there's this mystery Pokemon that's out there that they know is there because Ditto's been transforming into it. But it's obviously got something to do with Pokemon Let's Go. So I kind of like that there's this kind of... They're not just crossing over by like, oh, just send all your Pokemon over there and it's whatever. They're actually somehow linking the two worlds together in the sense of stuff's happening on the phone version.
I'm getting so excited.
So it's kind of... I know. Everything that I just want... any bit of information, but then I don't as well, so I don't want spoilers. But it's kind of crazy. But I remember when they first announced it, they showed something where I don't know if you remember. They were like, "Oh, there's a thing where if you link your phone, it was like a present went across to the game, or it went the other way." I can't remember. I can't remember if the present went from the phone to the Let's Go, or if it was the other way around. But I think it was kind of insinuating there was a Pokemon, so this could be it, a new one. But I think it's really interesting as well, though, because obviously the Pokemon Let's Go, it's so hard to talk about Go and Let's Go in the same sentence.
Yeah.
But in Let's Go, obviously, it's only the first 151 Pokemon. So it's interesting that they're adding in another one rather than bringing in Pokemon from other generations. So I'm intrigued to know what happens. And I actually like that there's a bit of mystery going on. So obviously, we know the story behind Pokemon Let's Go because it's Pokemon Yellow, essentially. With a few differences.
Pokemon Yellow.
That's okay. That's okay. Sorry. But it's just the original storyline. But I like that there's this kind of mystery going on, and perhaps there might be something extra to do. Maybe after you've finished the Elite Four or finished the game or something. So it's nice that there's something that we don't know, and I hope they keep it that way because I want there to be a bit of intrigue.
So do you think in the long run they'll go into different regions as well? Like I think they did with like Pokemon Yellow and all that.
I don't think they'll do that with Pokemon Let's Go. I think that's just going to be left as is. I'd love them to do that. I think it would be really smart to do that. They should have made it like what I've always wanted is if we can't have an MMO, which would just be what everybody wants. Everyone wants a Pokemon MMO. I would really like a game. What I was hoping, I was like, my dream Pokemon would be called something like Pokemon World, and basically they just add on each region as you go. So like this would be the first one, Kanto. You finish that, and then it's like they bring out an expansion or whatever, and they just
can buy like a season pass.
They add in Johto, and it's like, oh, now you get to go to there and play through a load of stuff there, and there's loads of new quests and stuff, and they just keep adding to it until you've got the whole Pokemon world.
How did you do Pokemon?
That's what I want.
But we've got the world.
Well, they're just adding in Pokemon rather than the actual regions.
I thought they did the region one because you got the Johto and then you got the others.
In Pokemon Go?
Yeah, I'm sure it's
on the phone?
Yeah.
Well, no, because it's the real world, isn't it? Pokemon
no,
Go.
I mean, but just the Pokemon from them regions.
Yeah. I'm talking about them actually adding in the land.
No, I know what you mean.
So, like, the actual area that's in the second game in Pokemon Gold and Silver, like, they add that into the game and then you go and explore that. Because it just means that the game has more. Because the only thing I'm worried about with Pokemon Let's Go, I'm going to be reviewing that game, which I'm terrified about because we go away, like, as a church, we're having, like, a church away time, and it's literally the Monday after it comes out. So I've got 3 days to review that and get it up. But what I'm worried about is that I'm going to do that, beat the Elite Four, and then that's the game over. And it's like, we've been waiting for it for this long and everything, it's over in 3 days. And I'm like, I hope there's something more past that. Like, there's some sort of end game thing. And I know you can say, oh, well, it's like online battles, but I want there to be more than that. So I don't know, but I think it's possible though, and I would actually I'd be all right with it if like this game does really well.
Yeah.
We get the new generation next year, which is like, you know, completely new, whatever, and then maybe what they'll do is they'll do Pokemon Let's Go 2 or whatever you want to call it, and basically they just do the same thing again, but they do it with the Pokemon Silver and Gold versions. I think that could happen, and then it's like its own like. It's its own stream of games that goes on alongside the new generation ones, because they were basically 1 year they'd bring out. We're talking about Pokemon a lot here, but we're just so excited.
We need to move on soon.
But like what they were doing was every year you'd have a new generation of Pokemon, like new game with a new region and everything, and then the next year you would get basically a remaster of an older game. And it was like alternating like that. So I could see them basically every year. 1 year we get a Pokemon Let's Go. The next year we get a new generation. Then we get another Let's Go, and it goes like that. So we'll see. I think I'd be all right with that because I thought we were never going to get a remaster of the original games because we had Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Game Boy Advance, which was essentially a remaster of it. But I think it'd be cool to go through with the new style of graphics and everything, go through all the old games again in this new way. And I think and because it's like different controls and different how you catch Pokemon now, it's different enough that I think you can justify it. Yeah. Oh, we need to have a whole thing just on Pokemon. We need to do that because I'm just so excited about it. Oh my gosh.
I'm well excited. Cannot wait.
I know. And I know there's a lot of Pokemon fans out there that are moaning because they want the new generation, but this is going to be boss. I can't.
It's going to be sick.
So
in its own time.
That has been the news, mostly about Pokemon, but we don't care. So we're going to move on to what is out this week.
Can someone tell me what's out this week? Hey-oh.
Welcome back. It is time for what is out this week. So as always, I'm going to let you know all of the games, all of the noteworthy games that are coming out this week, and then Jodie is going to let you know which game you should pick up.
Yeah.
So, obviously now, we used to do it where I would give you the games that would be coming out from Monday next week because we were going out on Monday, but we go out on Thursday now. So I'm telling you all the games that are basically coming out between now and Sunday, because then next week you'll get the new ones. Or between now and next Thursday. So, noteworthy games this week. We have got, I think pretty much all of these are coming out on Friday, or they're already out now. Number one is Dragon Ball FighterZ on the Nintendo Switch. We have got Forza Horizon 4. Now, just to make this clear, Forza Horizon 4 is out now if you buy the Deluxe Edition or the Gold Edition. Or is it just the Ultimate Edition? I think it's just the Ultimate Edition, sorry. So you get to play it early. And if you buy the normal version, it comes out on like the 3rd of October, which is like Wednesday next week. So you got Forza Horizon 4. You got FIFA 19. You got Valkyria Chronicles, which is out now. What?
That's a mouthful.
I know. I know what I want to say in my head, but then I struggle to say the word. So Valkyria Chronicles 4. We've also got Little Dragon's Cafe. We've got Namco Museum. Pac, but Pac is spelled P-A-C, like Pac-Man. See what they did there? But that game's already out digitally. It's just that that's a physical version. And then we've got the Banner Saga trilogy, which again, all those games, that's just on the Switch. All those games are on the Switch digitally, but this is physical. So that was a mouthful. I'm going to go through them dead quick one more time so that you can process what game we should be buying. We've got Dragon Ball FighterZ, Forza Horizon 4, FIFA 19, Valkyria Chronicles 4, Little Dragon's Cafe, Namco Museum, Pac, and Banner Saga trilogy. Jodie, what game are people buying this week? It's a lot.
Little Dragon's Cafe.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
But it just sounded like a cute name.
Alright, so Little Dragon's Cafe is kind of like Harvest Moon, like a kind of farming, like Japanese thing, but it's all about centered around a little dragon. It's actually got like a full story thing, and it is actually supposed to be really good. So I think it's a good choice.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and that is on the Nintendo Switch and the PS4.
Sounds so cute.
PS4. I think you would enjoy it.
Clearly, we're going to go for the Switch version. Go for the Switch version, people.
There you go. The reviews have been out. We've not done one, but the reviews have been out for Forza Horizon 4, and it's been getting like insanely good reviews, like 9.6s, 9.7s, and stuff. So, is this to be expected? Forza Horizon's sick, but it doesn't matter how good it is because our pick of the week is Little Dragon's Cafe. So, that is our pick of the week. So we're now going to move on to we don't have any reviews this week because nothing's really come out this week. So we are going to be going straight into topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
Welcome back to Topic of the Week. So, this week we're going to be talking all about, obviously, the stuff that's going on at Telltale Games. That is a mouthful too. So, the question here is it okay to sue? So, I just want to point out we're talking just generally about is it okay to sue in general, but we're using this as a talking point. Yeah. So, this is always a really interesting one for Christians to talk about because there is a lovely little Bible verse. I think it's in Corinthians, can't remember. But it basically says, don't sue each other.
It does.
But it's talking about Christians not suing other Christians. So, we're obviously Christians. We're talking about this in a Christian context. But how do we feel about it in a wider context? So, Jodie, straight up, is it okay to sue?
Is it okay for a Christian to sue a non-Christian?
I'm just gonna open it broadly so you can talk about however you want. You can talk about a different context. You can talk about however you want.
I think as Christians we should listen to what the Bible tells us, and we shouldn't sue each other, and really we shouldn't sue other people. But then I don't know. It can be a bit difficult, can't it? Because sometimes it is other people's fault for what happens to you. But I mean, I personally wouldn't sue anyone. Doesn't mean that you can go and attack me and think nothing's going to happen because you don't know. Anyway, but I don't know. If it's done in the right context, then yes. But if you're out just for the sake of, let's say you injure yourself because of something, and partly it was your fault, then that's your fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if it's completely the other person, and it's in the right context, you're not just doing it to get a couple of weeks off work, then then go for it. You know what I mean? It's what's happening with the heart, I think.
Okay, so I think context is everything here. So I think if we want to we need to understand the Bible verse more clearly. So I don't think it's just never sue anybody. The reason why it says Christians don't sue Christians is because it's basically saying we as Christians should be able to sort out our differences without going to essentially non-Christians to do that for us. We should be, as Christians, be gracious towards each other. And that doesn't mean that I shouldn't get something I deserve. So it's you chop my leg off. Because we're Christians, you should go, oh my gosh, I need to give you compensation because I've ruined your life. So it's more like that, you know what I mean? There should be that obviously mutual understanding and not trying to screw each other over. Yeah. Whereas I think when it comes to suing in just the wider world, and I'm not just saying Christians do it too, and it's just the way it is. But like, when people try to sue each other, it's often they want to get one over on the other person, or they're just like, I want to take this from you because you took this from me, and that's the opposite of what Christianity is about. It's about, well, let's work together and come to a solution ourselves. You know what I mean? So it's a lot that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know loads about divorce or anything. I'm just saying that a lot of the time people will say like, "Oh, let's try and keep it out the courts because it gets too messy." Like, let's try and sort it out between us if we're gonna if we're getting divorced. And I think it's a similar thing here. It's like it's about us wanting the best for each other as Christians. So if I feel like I've wronged you in a certain way that requires me to, for me to make those amends is by, you know, giving you some compensation or by agreeing to help you out. Like, you know, if you've, like right now I've got a really sore foot because I've tore ligaments in my ankle. If you did that to me, one thing is that you could go, oh, you know what, I'm gonna drive you around because I made that difficult for you, so I don't want you to be, you know, under pressure to do anything. You know what I mean? I think it's more about that. So I think when it comes to this thing with Telltale Games, obviously it's a horrendous thing that's happened. Like, I can't even imagine just turning up to work and then just being fired on the spot for and not even really being told why.
Yeah.
I think in this scenario, it's not about. I mean, obviously, I think if the company wasn't being scumbags, they wouldn't have to be in that position already. You know what I mean? So I think they have every right to, and they totally should, because the company isn't even willing to have the conversation and be like, let's come to an agreement because we shouldn't have done that, so we're going to compensate you in that. That conversation isn't happening. They're just being cut out. So to me, they absolutely 100% should sue them, because they're not being gracious. They're not being willing to have a conversation. So the only way we can do it is if we get the government involved, or to get the law involved. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that to me is where it's about. I think for, you know, we should all strive to want to have the best for each other. And in this scenario, clearly somebody does, like, the company clearly doesn't want what's best for the employees because they just fired them on the spot. So it's like, you're not going to have a reasonable conversation with those people.
No.
You know what I mean?
Like, I was in a conversation, actually it was only a couple of weeks ago, and there was this guy that was telling us about something that had happened in a business. I think it was in Wales, and these 3 people were like, they were paralysed from the thing that had happened, like from the waist down. So they were in wheelchairs, and you know what that's like as soon as stuff comes up, like, you're going through court for months, you're sorting stuff out. But the company just turned round. That I thought was quite thingy, actually, that was quite good. They just turned around and went, this is all us, and we're going to literally give you all the money, and what we'll do is we'll pay for you to build a new house to adapt to your circumstance for your families. And this was 3 people, so like that's a lot of money already. Yeah. And they literally, like, they just went and did it, like, straight away, instead of like doing all the money through all the courts and stuff, and you're not getting all your money because then you've got to pay for lawyers and solicitors and all that. So they literally just went, this is our fault, just here you go, let's sort it out between us, instead of going through insurance. And it was quite good. It was quite good to see. And I was like, and they're non-Christians. I was quite impressed.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't just apply to Christians. I mean, the Bible's obviously trying to address, you know, people in the church, and that's saying how we should act. But of course, like, I think the ideal is that companies don't screw over employees. That's just obvious, and that's in this scenario. I think that's essentially what the company has done, and I think it's for them to sort that out, and they're not. So to me, sue him. Sue him. So I think we're in agreement there, aren't we?
We are.
So we give our love out to all you Telltale employees. I seriously cannot believe that it's just happened like that. A company that big and stuff as well, to just overnight just go like that is insane. And Telltale, pay your employees properly and don't just get rid of them, you scumbags. So there you go. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We apologise for I don't know if we can call them technical issues. It's more power issues. We apologise for all this happening, but sometimes things just don't go right. And this is the thing with going live. If we put the show out live, sometimes it's going to happen. But we hope you enjoyed the show anyway. It's all about what we're talking about, not necessarily what you're seeing. You can still see my beautiful face. That is probably the most important thing. But we hope you enjoyed the show anyway. And if you enjoyed this show, give it a thumbs up. If you absolutely hated it, give it a thumbs down. And make sure if you want to see loads more content that looks way better than this, but is still just as fun, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button so you can be notified of every new video. So thanks for joining us. Go out and watch that We Beat the Antichrist video on Rocket League. Good times.
Think you'll enjoy it.
We've got loads of cool stuff coming up for you in the future. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you very, very soon. Bye.
Bye.